In this video, we will discuss about the properties of DNA as a genetic material. What are the properties that are to be available with a genetic material for a considered as a to consider it as a genetic material? The genetic material must have some of the following properties, that are the ability to store genetic information and to transmit it to the cell as needed. The second one is the ability to transfer its information to daughter cell with minimal error, that is parent to progeny transmission. The third ability is the physical and chemical stability, in order that the information is not lost. And the fourth is the capability for genetic changes, though without major loss of parental information or ability of mutation. This we will discuss in thorough detail, that the ability of the genetic information, ability to store genetic information and transmit it to cell or to progeny as needed. The information possessed and conveyed by DNA of a cell is of several types. The sequence of amino acid in every protein synthesized by the cell is first. A start and stop signal for the synthesis of each protein is the second type, and the set of signals that determine whether a particular protein is to be made and how many molecules are to be made per unit time. This information is contained in a sequence of DNA bases. The amino acid sequence and the start and stop signals are not obtained directly from the DNA base sequence, but via RNA intermediate. That is, DNA serves as a template for synthesis of specific RNA molecule, that is mRNA or messenger RNA. The base sequence of the mRNA is complementary to that of the one of the DNA strands, and it is from the mRNA sequence that an amino acid sequence is translated. In particular, the base sequence is read in order in groups of 3 bases or triplicates or codons, and each group corresponds to a particular amino acid or a start and stop signal or start and stop codon. These two-stage process has advantage that the DNA molecule neither has to be used very often nor has to enter the protein synthesis mechanism. Since protein synthesis occurs continuously, one can appreciate why DNA evolved with a base having groups capable of forming hydrogen bonds. First, by a specific pattern of hydrogen bonding, that is base pairing, the base sequence of DNA is easily transcribed into a RNA molecule by means of enzymatic system that adds the base to the polymerizing end of an RNA molecule. Only if that base can hydrogen bond with the base being copied. This system of transcription is very important, and the use of hydrogen bonding enables the cell to use less genetic material to hold information than if van der Waals forces have been selected in the course of evolution. This is because van der Waals forces are so weak that an error frequency in transmission of information would be much greater than that of hydrogen bonds. The process of base recognition is facilitated by breathing or localized denaturation of DNA. That is, while the base pair is temporarily broken, a polymerizing enzyme, RNA polymerase, can penetrate the helix and read the base sequence as must be necessary. The second point is transmission of information from parent cell to the daughter cell or parent to progeny. When the cell divides, each daughter cell must contain identical genetic information. That is, each DNA molecule must become two identical, create two identical molecules, each carrying the information that is contained by the parent molecule. This duplication process is called replication of DNA. Once again, the value of base capable of hydrogen bonding is apparent. That is, to make a replica, the replication system only only requires that the base being added to the growing end of new chain be capable of hydrogen bonding to the base being copied. So the while transmitting information from parent to daughter, the information must be exact, chemically stable, and for that we require a proper replication process, which is done with the DNA. Then third point is chemical stability of DNA and its information content, or physical and chemical stability. In long-lived organisms, a single DNA molecule may have to last 100 years or more. Furthermore, the information contained in a molecule is passed on to the successive generations for millions of years, only with small changes. Thus, the DNA molecule must have great stability. The sugar phosphate backbone of DNA is extremely stable, and so it is used. The carbon-carbon bonds in the sugar are resistant to chemical attack under all conditions other than strong acids at high temperatures. The phosphodiester bond is a little less stable bond than the carbon-carbon bond, and can be hydrolyzed at room temperatures at pH 2. But this is not physiologic. But this is not the physiological condition. In considering the stability of phosphodiester bond, one can see immediately why 2-deoxyribose rather than ribose has evolved as a constituent sugar of DNA. At alkaline pH, RNA hydrolyzes to free nucleotide exceedingly rapidly than that of the DNA. Even at pH 8, RNA molecule is greatly fragmented by phosphodiester bond breakage. The reaction mechanism, which is called beta elimination reaction, requires that a hydrogen group be present on sugar, except for the 3-OH terminal nucleotide. There is only single OH group in the RNA backbone, namely 2-OH group. Thus, in RNA, which uses 2-deoxyribose, there is no free OH, and hydrolysis by means of this pathway or by elimination reaction is not possible. This has the effect that at room temperature and pH range 8 to 9, there is no detectable hydrolysis in the DNA as shown in the RNA. So, the stability of the DNA is maintained. Then capability to mutate or capability of mutation. The second step in the stability of DNA is that an alteration in the chemical structure of the base definitely means loss of genetic information, and this is not good sign for DNA, as the loss of genetic information can be very dangerous. The bases, that is adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine, are very stable, but with the case of cytosine, it is lesser stable than that of other three. At a very low rate, however, cytosine is deaminated to form uracil, which is present in RNA. Deamination is a disastrous change. Because of the deamination, the product uracil pairs with adenine rather than guanine, which may cause a mispairing of the bases. This has two effects. An incorrect base will appear in the mRNA, and an adenine instead of guanine will occur in the newly replicated DNA strand. There exists an intracellular system which will remove uracil from DNA and replacing it with thymine. The necessity for eliminating a uracil formed by deamination explains why DNA utilizes thiamine and not uracil as a base complementary to adenine. If uracil were the normal DNA basis, there would be no way to distinguish the correct uracil from an incorrect uracil produced by deamination of cytosine. By using thiamine as a cell, thiamine as a base pair for adenine, the cell can follow the rule that is always remove uracil from DNA because it is unwanted. It is not obvious why RNA uses uracil and not thiamine, or nor why DNA evolves with cytosine rather than with some base that would not deaminate. This may have an evolutionary incident or accident. It is possible, though, that the original DNA and RNA molecules both contained cytosine and uracil because these were the only pyrimidines available in the primordial sea. Cells then gained the ability to methylate uracil to form thiamine because this provides the cell with the criteria of eliminating the result of cytosine uracil conversion. It is significant that in the final step of synthesis of thiaminic acid is the methylation of deoxyuridylic acid. The thiaminic acid is then converted into triphosphate needed to be incorporated into DNA. The fourth point is capability for genetic change, though without a major loss of parental information. All the information contained in the cell resides in its DNA. Thus, if a cell is to be able to improve through the time that is to evolve, then the base sequence of its DNA must be capable of changes. Furthermore, the new sequence must persist so that progeny cell will have a new property. The process by which the base sequence changes is called mutation. There are two main mechanisms of mutation, that is the chemical alteration of base that gives a new hydrogen bonding property and cause a new base to be present in the newly replicated daughter molecule, and the second is the replication error by which an incorrect base or extra base is accidentally inserted in the daughter molecule. On an average, mutational changes are deleterious and lead to cell death. Therefore, it is important that not too many mutations occur in the single DNA molecule. Otherwise, the rare advantageous alteration would always occur in the cell destined to die by virtue of lethal mutation. Thus, the mutation rate must be low and controlled. So, in the next point, we will discuss about the E. coli as model for genetic information or genetic model.